Prashant. You can see that it is a very famous iceberg model where you see very little thing on the top, but there's a lot of thing on the top. And if you see that our behaviors, our habits, what we are, who we are, it comes of lot of things which is invisible, right? And we don't know where it comes from, right? We always worry about what is on the surface. Why am I behaving like this? Why my decision is like this? Why I'm not able to study well, or why I'm not able to do good in specific area. But deep down, there are so many things inside. And if you look at our education system, there is no way we are focusing on this invisible. It's always on the visible. How do we get them there? But what drives is something which is not being seen. And that is where the emotional hygiene comes into the picture. And it is very dear to me, because after 18 years of IT, I did my life coach course, and then I have been teaching social emotional learning to kids, and I start from grade 1. So grade 1 onwards, we teach the kids that what does feeling means, how do you name it, how do you identify it, right? They need to understand that where it comes from, right? And how do you deal with it? Because if you look at it, every single emotions and the parents' response forms the belief, forms our value, and eventually that is what we turn out to. And once we grow up, probably we are so clouded by so many things all around, we can't go deep inside and figure it out. Okay, what is this? Where is it coming from? So we do social emotional learning for the kids, and our model is that first is the awareness. So you have to be aware of that, what's your feeling. So we start with a very small step for kids in a very fun way to at least let them know what are the different feelings, so they even understand what is being jealous, what is being angered, what is being frustrated. And they even tell us the incidents, what they felt, right? And what was their response. So one of the thing which is very common for the primary kid is the anger, right? They get angry and they hit, which is very, very common. So we tell them that, yeah, anger comes. It's okay to get angry. But then how you respond is important, right? You don't hit. Getting angry is okay, but then you know how to manage. So we first make them aware. Then second thing is acceptance. That it's okay to get angry. It's okay to feel jealous. It's okay to feel that, someone is having that nice pen which I don't have. It's fair enough. But then you don't try to steal it from that person, right? You understand that it's okay, I don't have it. Maybe my circumstances don't allow me to have it. So that's acceptance, and that's build your self-esteem. That, yeah, this is who I am. This is what it is. Maybe I have something, I don't have something, right? Then you identify that, okay, something I'm not very good at. You don't believe, even the primary kids comes and tells me that, ma'am, I got angry and I couldn't control and I beat my sister, right? So they even realize that I did not do what I was supposed to do. I misbehaved, or I probably go over the line. And we teach them, you calm down, you count 1 to 10, you deep breathe, right? One of the thing for the primary thing is they don't focus in the class. They say that, ma'am, I get bored. I'm sure you guys are having the same problem, right? To get their attention, we get bored. Now it's okay for them to get bored. You can't say that, no, I am saying, so you better listen. No, I am getting bored, so I'm not going to listen. So they are so vocal about it that they say that I'm getting bored. So what we do is we tell them the technique, right? So you get bored, it's okay. Either you can voice it out to your teacher that, yes, I'm getting bored, or you do something by yourself, but you don't disturb the class, right? That is something is not okay. You getting bored is fine. So when we do all of this, these are the small remedials which we teach them. Even for the anger management, when we do, we even tell them that when your dad, they tell us that, my parent gets angry on us, and we tell them, ask your dad or mom to just calm down. Ask them to count 1 to 10, and you will see that they will start smiling. And they eventually do it, and when it comes from the 5-year, 6-year-old to the parents takes the back, and then they kind of slow down. So we do remediation, compassion. You need to have empathy for others as well as for yourself. You cannot be hard on yourself that, why did I do what I do? And eventually you need to know where it is coming from. You do a lot of things, but why are you doing it, right? And that's very, very important in the education field, because being a parent, being the teacher, you are building a life in front of you, right? So when we teach kids about the social emotional learning, it is equally important for the parents and teachers also, right? When you are standing as a teacher, you are not there as who you are for them, right? It's not your agenda. The agenda is to make them learn, make them actually create the love for learning, right? It is not the you finish the SST, you finish the maths and you are done, right? You should feel like learning throughout. So this is something which we do for a lot of government schools, right? And in the government school, it's important for kids to get this because they go through a lot, right? And they don't even have probably anyone to talk to. It's a similar case for even the private school, but the government school it's very important. So our foundation, we work with a lot of government school as well as foundation or the private schools on social emotional learning. We do it for teachers as well because many of the time when you try to discipline a child, you forget what the child is going through. I am a teacher, so I know. I would try to control myself for 35 minutes, but then last 5 minutes probably you are like, this is not on, right? And so it continues to be in touch with yourself and see that, you are not crossing the line because you are dealing with something which is very, very important. And we do this with the parents as well, right? Because parents play a major role. So some spoke about the counseling and, the engineering and the medical. But what does your child wants? The whole parenting is not the child-centric parenting. It's always about the parents. It's never about the child. Unless and until child rebels and say, no, this is it. I'm not going to take it. Right? Until then it is there, and by the time it is too late. By the time they rebel, it is probably 10 or 12 years. Their brain is formed, their beliefs have formed, their value has formed, and probably the next generation is not what we want them to be. Right? So why I am here is I wanted to share this with all of you that we do this. We are looking for a larger platform where we can reach out to people and create this awareness first and then take acceptance. So we do even the weekly class with the government schools or even the small workshop for the teachers or the parents where we do tell them, how important it is to be a teacher, parents when you are dealing with children. And it's applicable for all, but as a foundation we cater to the three pillars for the education of the children, parent and this one. So if you have any scope, do let us know. We are a non-profit organization, so we are not looking for any monetary benefit. We are looking for only increasing the awareness and creating learning.